What's up, everybody? It's Ola here again, and today we're talking about how to save money. Saving money is one of the most crucial aspects of personal finance, and it's something that everyone, regardless of their income level, should prioritize. Now, when it comes to building wealth, I always say it's not just about how much you make, but also about how much you keep. It's about being smart with your money and making informed decisions that will benefit you in the long run. And who better to learn from than the Oracle of Omaha himself, Warren Buffett? This man has mastered the art of wealth building and has a treasure trove of wisdom to share. This guy's a legend, worth over $100 billion, and he's known for his incredibly frugal lifestyle. Despite his immense wealth, he lives a life of simplicity and prudence. Seriously, the guy still lives in the same house he bought back in 1958 for like 30 grand. Can you imagine that? It's a testament to his philosophy of living below your means. So, in this video, we're diving into 20 things that Warren Buffett believes are a complete waste of your hard-earned cash. These are insights that can transform your financial habits and set you on the path to financial independence. We're talking about things you should absolutely avoid if you want to achieve financial freedom. It's all about making conscious choices that align with your long-term goals. From overpriced cars to fancy gadgets, we're covering it all. These are the kinds of expenses that can drain your bank account without adding real value to your life. These are the financial traps that can seriously hold you back from building real wealth. Avoiding these pitfalls is crucial if you want to see your savings grow. So, if you're ready to learn how to stop wasting money and start building a brighter financial future, stick around. We're going to break down each of these 20 points in detail, giving you practical tips and strategies you can implement right away. And hey, while you're at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insightful content just like this. Let's get started. Your journey to financial freedom begins now. All right, let's kick things off with something Warren Buffett absolutely hates: expensive cars. You see those flashy sports cars and luxury SUVs? Yeah, Buffett sees them as nothing but money pits. And honestly, he's got a point. The second you drive a brand new car off the lot, it loses a significant chunk of its value. We're talking like 10%, sometimes even 20% depreciation right off the bat. That's like lighting a stack of cash on fire. And it only gets worse from there. Buffett's philosophy is all about buying assets, things that put money in your pocket. Cars? They're the definition of a liability. They suck money out of your bank account with every passing mile. Fuel costs, insurance, maintenance, it all adds up. So, what does Buffett drive instead? A Cadillac XTS. Not exactly a flashy ride for a multi-billionaire, right? But that's the point. He'd rather put his money to work elsewhere, building his wealth instead of showing it off. Next up on Buffett's hit list, designer clothes. Now I get it, who doesn't love a little retail therapy every now and then? But when it comes to dropping thousands of dollars on a handbag with a fancy logo, Buffett says, hard pass. Here's the thing, designer clothes are all about perceived value. You're paying a premium for the brand name, the status symbol, the feeling of exclusivity. But at the end of the day, a $5,000 handbag does the same thing as a $50 one. It carries your stuff. And let's be real, how often do you actually wear those expensive pieces in your closet? Are they really worth the dent in your bank account? Buffett believes that true wealth isn't about flaunting your money. It's about making smart choices that set you up for long-term financial success. So, instead of chasing trends and designer labels, focus on building a wardrobe of high-quality, timeless pieces that will last you for years to come. You'll save a ton of money and still look effortlessly stylish. Now let's talk about something people spend way too much money on: luxury watches. You know, those watches that cost as much as a car or even a down payment on a house? Yeah, those. Listen, a watch has one job, and that's to tell time. And guess what? A $10 Casio can do that just as well as a $10,000 Rolex. Sure, the Rolex might be a status symbol, but it's not going to make you any more money. In fact, it's the opposite. It's taking money out of your pocket that could be invested and growing your wealth. Warren Buffett, one of the richest people on the planet, wears a simple, affordable watch. He understands that true wealth isn't about showing off, it's about making smart financial decisions. live in a world obsessed with the newest, shiniest gadgets. New phones, laptops, TVs, you name it. There's always something being released, claiming to be bigger and better than the last. And you know what? Most of the time, it's just hype. Companies bank on our desire to have the latest and greatest. But the truth is, these high-end electronics depreciate in value incredibly fast. Remember that brand new iPhone everyone was dying to get last year? Yeah, it's probably worth half its original price now. This constant cycle of upgrading is a money pit, plain and simple. And Warren Buffett knows it. He's famous for holding on to his investments for the long haul, and he applies the same principle to his possessions. Why spend thousands on a new phone every year when the one you have works perfectly fine? It's about being practical and understanding that true value isn't always found in the newest, most expensive gadget. Now, let's talk about something we all enjoy: food, specifically fancy restaurants. We've all been there, tempted by the ambiance, the elaborate dishes, the promise of an unforgettable culinary experience. But let's be honest, those experiences come with a hefty price tag. You're not just paying for the food, you're paying for the atmosphere, the service, the fancy plating. The list goes on. And while there's nothing wrong with enjoying a nice meal out every now and then, making it a regular habit can put a serious dent in your wallet. Warren Buffett, despite being one of the wealthiest people in the world, is known for his simple tastes. He enjoys a good burger and a Coke just as much as the next person. He understands that true satisfaction doesn't come from extravagant meals, but from living within your means and making smart financial choices. All right, let's talk about lottery tickets. We've all seen those billboards advertising jackpots worth hundreds of millions of dollars. It's easy to get caught up in the fantasy of winning big and quitting your job. But let's be real for a second. The lottery is basically a tax on people who are bad at math. The odds of winning the lottery are astronomically low. You're more likely to get struck by lightning twice while being eaten by a shark than to win the Powerball. And yet, people still spend their hard-earned money on these tickets week after week. Look, I get it. It's tempting to dream about winning life-changing money. But the reality is, buying lottery tickets is like throwing your money away. Instead of relying on luck, focus on building wealth through proven methods like investing in the stock market or real estate. Have you ever been on vacation and been lured into a timeshare presentation? They promise you the world, luxurious accommodations, exotic destinations, and incredible savings. It sounds pretty tempting, right? But let me tell you, timeshares are often more trouble than they're worth. In fact, Warren Buffett himself has called timeshares a terrible investment, and for good reason. First of all, timeshares are notoriously expensive. You're not just paying for the accommodation itself, but also for maintenance fees, property taxes, and other hidden costs that can add up quickly. Secondly, timeshares are incredibly inflexible. You're locked into going to the same place at the same time every year. What if your circumstances change? What if you want to explore a different destination? We live in a world obsessed with the latest and greatest technology. New phones, laptops, smartwatches, and gadgets are released constantly, each promising to be sleeker, faster, and more feature-packed than the last. It's easy to get caught up in the hype and feel like you need to have the newest model the second it's released. But remember, new technology often comes with a hefty price tag, and the thing about technology is that it becomes obsolete incredibly quickly. That brand new phone you just bought? Yeah, there's already a newer model in the works. Warren Buffett understands this better than anyone. He's known for his frugal lifestyle and his aversion to unnecessary spending. He once said, "If you buy things you don't need, soon you will have to sell things you need." Think about that for a second. Before you drop hundreds or even thousands of dollars on the latest gadget, ask yourself, do I really need this? All right, let's talk about gym memberships. We all know that staying fit and healthy is important, but have you ever stopped to think about how much you're spending on that gym membership? Now, I'm all for staying healthy and fit, but some of these fancy gyms out there charge an arm and a leg for their memberships. We're talking about hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars a year. You know, the ones with all the bells and whistles like rock climbing walls, juice bars, and who knows what else. They lure you in with promises of luxury and exclusivity. Listen, you don't need all that to get a good workout. The truth is, you can get just as fit without all the fancy equipment and amenities. You can achieve amazing results with some basic equipment or even just your own body weight. A set of dumbbells, a yoga mat, and a bit of space can go a long way. There are tons of free workout videos online, and you can even go for a run outside. Nature provides a great backdrop for exercise, and it's completely free. Think about it. Those expensive gym memberships can easily cost you hundreds of dollars a year. That's a significant amount of money that could be used elsewhere. That's money that could be invested, used to pay down debt, or put towards something else that will actually make you wealthier in the long run. Imagine the financial freedom you could achieve by reallocating those funds. Remember, being financially fit is just as important as being physically fit. Balancing both aspects can lead to a more fulfilling and stress-free life. So next time you're considering signing up for that luxury gym, ask yourself if it's really worth the cost or if there are smarter, more cost-effective ways to achieve your fitness goals. Your wallet and your future self will thank you. Let's be real, we've all been tempted by those get-rich-quick schemes or the allure of the next big thing. Whether it's meme stocks, cryptocurrencies, or some other trendy investment, it's easy to get caught up in the hype. But here's the thing, chasing trends is like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. You might get lucky once in a while, but more often than not, you're going to get burned. Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Warren Buffett is famously cautious about trendy investments. He's all about long-term value and sticking to what he knows. He once said, "The best investment you can make is in yourself." And he's right. Instead of chasing the latest fad, focus on educating yourself about investing, diversifying your portfolio, and making smart, informed decisions. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. Let's talk about debt, specifically high-interest debt. This is the kind of debt that can really sneak up on you and wreak havoc on your finances. We're talking about credit card debt, payday loans, and those buy now, pay later schemes that are everywhere these days. These types of debt often come with sky-high interest rates, which means you end up paying back way more than you originally borrowed. It's like digging yourself into a hole that gets deeper and deeper with every passing month. Warren Buffett is famously debt-averse, and for a good reason. He understands that high-interest debt is a wealth killer. It prevents you from building true financial security and achieving your financial goals. Now, I know a thing or two about real estate, and I can tell you that overpaying for a property just because it's in a desirable zip code can be a huge mistake. Look, I get it. Everyone wants to live in the nicest neighborhood they can afford. There's a certain appeal to having a fancy address and bragging rights about your property value. But you know what's not appealing? Being house poor because you overextended yourself on a mortgage you can barely afford. Remember, guys, a house is first and foremost a place to live. It's an investment, yes, but it's also a huge financial responsibility. Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. Do your research, analyze the market value, and don't be afraid to walk away from a deal that doesn't make financial sense. Okay, let's talk about food. I enjoy a nice meal as much as the next person, but let me tell you, eating out too often can do some serious damage to your wallet. Seriously, those restaurant bills add up faster than you might think. Think about it. A $20 entree here, a $15 appetizer there, plus drinks, dessert, and tip. It all adds up, and that's just for one meal. Now imagine doing that several times a week. Suddenly you're looking at hundreds of dollars, maybe even thousands, blown on restaurant food every month. Now I'm not saying you should never treat yourself to a nice dinner out, but making it a regular habit can be a huge drain on your finances. Remember those financial goals we talked about? The ones about early retirement, financial freedom, and building wealth? Yeah, those goals are a lot harder to achieve when you're constantly throwing money at overpriced appetizers and fancy cocktails. Instead of making dining out the norm, try to think of it as a special occasion treat. Look, I'm a big believer in being prepared for the unexpected. That's why I'm a huge advocate for having the right insurance coverage. But here's the thing, not all insurance policies are created equal. In fact, some insurance policies are downright unnecessary and can end up costing you a fortune in wasted premiums. The key is to be smart about your insurance coverage. Don't just blindly buy every policy that's offered to you. Take the time to assess your actual needs and determine what risks are worth insuring against. For example, do you really need that extended warranty on your new toaster? Number 15 on Warren Buffett's list of things you shouldn't waste money on is brand new cars. This might come as a surprise to many, especially those who see a new car as a status symbol or a reward for hard work. But let's dive deeper into why Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, advises against it. Now, you guys know I love cars. The thrill of driving a new vehicle, the fresh smell, the latest technology, it's all very enticing. I've owned a Lamborghini, a Tesla, and more, and I can tell you firsthand how exhilarating it is to get behind the wheel of these machines. But I've also talked extensively about how much money you lose the second you drive a brand new car off the lot. The depreciation is immediate and significant. Seriously, it's like flushing thousands of dollars down the toilet. The value of a new car drops by about 20 to 30% in the first year alone. Buffett, being the Oracle of Omaha and all, understands this better than anyone. His approach to money and investments is all about value and long-term gains. He's known for his frugal lifestyle, living in the same modest home he bought decades ago, and making thoughtful, calculated decisions. Driving a car for several years is just one example of how he lives below his means. It's not about being cheap. It's about being smart with your money. He's owned a Cadillac DTS, a car that served him well for many years. And famously, he bought a Cadillac XTS back in 2014 for around $45,000. This wasn't a flashy purchase, but a practical one. He held on to that car for years, demonstrating his belief in getting the most value out of his purchases. And he said that he only drives about 3,500 miles per year, which means his car remains in good condition for a long time. So it's not like he's putting a ton of wear and tear on it. This approach ensures that he gets the maximum utility out of his vehicle. The point is, Buffett understands that a car is a depreciating asset. Unlike real estate or stocks, it doesn't appreciate in value, meaning it loses value over time, especially in those first few years when the depreciation is the steepest. Especially in those first few years. The initial drop in value is the most significant, making new cars a poor investment. Why pay a premium for something that's going to be worth significantly less a year or two down the line? Instead, consider buying a slightly used car. It's a smarter financial decision that aligns with Buffett's philosophy of value investing. Moving right along to number 16 on Warren Buffett's list of money wasters, expensive hobbies. Now, I'm all about pursuing your passions and having hobbies that bring you joy. But Buffett is a big believer in being mindful of how much those hobbies are costing you. Think about it. Some hobbies can be real money pits. We're talking about things like collecting rare artifacts, racing expensive cars, or even just constantly upgrading your photography equipment. Don't get me wrong, these can all be amazing hobbies, but they can also drain your bank account faster than you can say depreciation. Buffett's philosophy is simple. Your hobbies should bring you joy, not financial stress. All right, moving on to number 17 on Warren Buffett's hit list of money wasters, impulse purchases. We've all been there, right? You're strolling through the mall, browsing online, or even just walking down the grocery store aisle, and bam! You get hit with that sudden urge to buy something you hadn't planned on. Maybe it's a flashy new gadget, a stylish pair of shoes, or even just a tempting candy bar at the checkout counter. Whatever it is, that little voice in your head starts whispering, "You deserve this. Treat yourself. It's on sale." And before you know it, you're swiping your credit card and walking out the door with a bag full of stuff you didn't even know you needed 5 minutes ago. All right, let's talk about something that's become a staple in many households, but that Warren Buffett thinks is a complete waste of money: premium cable packages. You know, those cable subscriptions with hundreds of channels, including premium movie channels and sports packages. Buffett's view on this might surprise you, especially in a world where we're constantly bombarded with entertainment options. Think about it. How many channels do you actually watch on cable? You might have a handful of favorites, but chances are a lot of those channels remain untouched. And those premium channels, they often come with a hefty price tag, adding a significant chunk to your monthly cable bill. Buffett, a man who's built his wealth by being financially savvy, sees this as a prime example of unnecessary spending. Number 19 on the list, expensive vacations. Look, I get it. Everyone needs a break. You work hard, you want to treat yourself and your family to something nice. But blowing your entire savings on a lavish trip to the Maldives? That's not very buffet-ish. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men alive, is famously frugal. He still lives in the same house he bought back in 1958 for $31,500. Think about that. This guy could own an entire island if he wanted to, but he chooses to live modestly. The point is, you don't need to spend a fortune to have an amazing vacation. There are plenty of affordable ways to relax and recharge. Explore local attractions, go camping, visit family or friends. You can even plan a staycation and explore your own city. Number 20 on our list of things Warren Buffett thinks are a waste of money is high-end home appliances. Listen, I love a nice kitchen as much as the next guy. But do you really need a $10,000 refrigerator with a built-in espresso machine? Probably not. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for quality products that last. But there's a big difference between buying quality and just buying something because it has a fancy brand name and a hefty price tag. So there you have it, 20 things that Warren Buffett believes are a complete waste of your money. Keep in mind that these are just suggestions based on Warren Buffett's personal philosophy of frugality and value investing. The key takeaway here is to be mindful of your spending habits and focus on investing your money in things that will truly bring you long-term happiness and financial security. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more tips on managing your finances. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.